smart villages and digital connectivity are main topics for our work. As Innovation and Digital Agenda Department of Aosta Valley, we are leading the Action Group 5 of the EUSALP strategy. I think you know EUSALP strategy is a macro-regional strategy of all the Alpine regions, and also this is a very important topic because we think that smart villages, connecting people, are the key for economic growth of all the regions, so also for the Aosta Valley regions.
So something is happening, but I think there is also probably the message here is that there is an important need to have a national dialogue between institutional parties, because there is definitely a shared problem there, and it would make much more sense, or I'm sure that it is already happening, it does make a lot of sense to have a coordinated approach to these interventions, these policies, and also share information in terms of good practice, best practice, what works, what does not work.
From smart city to smart land is the main idea of my presentation, and the subtitle I've chosen is how to promote territorial resilience and sustainability. So let me start saying that local development, innovation, attractiveness are all words and sometimes buzzwords, chasing each other around an old need. And the old need is sustainability and the resilience of our territory and the well-being of our citizens. Sometimes these old needs seem to be new because the old answers are no more working. Sometimes it seems to be new because the new technology are offering us new opportunities. And a territory is smart, in my view, if it is rooted and organized on two main assets. The first one is diffuse knowledge, and the second one is diffuse competencies. Assets which are able to generate quality of life, responsible enterprises, and qualified jobs. So smart, in my view, is a way of being focused on the process. Here the challenge is a proper use of enabling technology, translating them into economic, social, and cultural priority, synchronized to the logical flows. And the Alpine space seems to be a privileged land to implement such new processes. Smart land, that means smart town and smart village alliances, in my view, have to achieve a proper digital transformation. We have to consider the full digital ecosystem involving a variety of solutions, connecting devices and combining and managing data for different local services, from mobility to health, care, education, and so on. The ecosystem is a complex mix of digital and human-led processes, and it is never an off-the-shelf technical supply. Of course, we have to imagine a step-by-step approach that, in my view, means pilot projects, evaluation, scaling up, pilot project, evaluation, scaling up, starting answering to the most urgent needs and the easiest things to do. We need also to raise our vision and strategy. And this will not only come from top-down inputs provided by expert or external consultants, but more probably is first and foremost a bottom-up construction, leveraging on living community and stakeholder at large. And in this path to Europe, rural development programs can be supportive in fostering, enabling, and scaling up the seeds of innovation already present in many different territories. Resilience and sustainability ask also for a strong territorial identity, which need to be raised and strengthened. But territorial identity, in my view, is not about what we were in the past, but more interestingly, how we should like to be in the future.
Let me introduce the summary. You know, Alpine Space rural communities really miss highly needed jobs, good provision of services, as well as a good climate for entrepreneurship and social innovation, which, of course, as we already heard, result in a brain drain. The solution might be, one of the solutions might be in digitalization, which is somehow promising approach to counter this situation. However, the digital divide between rural and urban areas has even increased in recent years. So this smart village approach in mountain areas could unlock this potential of local actors to make their region more attractive for live and to work. What is smart village approach? With this approach, we would like to bring together regional stakeholder groups, which consist of policymakers, business, academia, and civil society. They should improve the framework of innovation through new forms of stakeholder involvement facilitated by ICT. We will establish digital exchange platform on the smart village approach. In the same time, we will establish a smart village toolbox to enhance networks and services by means of digital, telecommunication technologies, innovations, and the better use of knowledge. And finally, the recommendations to facilitate the transformation of project result into policies. Of course, we have to transfer the results of the project to the policy level, and this will contribute to improve the political framework conditions for digital innovation.
So coming to the network and entering the issues of a mountain area, so we have three basic points that are connectivity with fibers or fixed radio access, data centers, and the internet exchange. These are the three pillars that I would like to mention in the following. And this graph, this chart, is representing more or less the basic elements in the deployment of ultra-broadband connectivity. So, starting from the very infrastructural point of view, you need fiber connections. So I would not like to go into the details, but the backbone, a backhauling, and an asset network are required. Why data center in mountain areas could be really interesting as a technical issue to boost the connectivity and the digital evolution towards smart villages. The relevance is that data centers are important also for latency issues. Latency impacts the user experience. So lower latency makes a more responsive experience, so a better experience for the citizen. On top of that, an internet exchange is the third important step to set up also in all the Alpine region, in my opinion, because an internet exchange could really be the neutral point where local and global operators could exchange their contents. And so this is important to offer, to allow multiple providers to exchange the data traffic, to improve the effectiveness of the network, and so to accelerate the provider's business. And this will result in benefits for the providers, but of course in benefits also for the users, also in terms of cost, and cost matters. So coming to my conclusions, connectivity in mountain areas presents some different technical issues, but we have different good perspectives and news. So the technological development produced good means for digital divide mitigation. Having a fixed wireless access is not having a fiber. This is clear. But for the present uses and also for future uses is really a solid alternative.
Alps could become the laboratory of the future Europe because it's complicated. It's logistically a nightmare. Perfect. If we can make it here, we can make it anywhere. Okay. So the dream is where else? Better than in the Alps, we need to make a digital image of every resource. It's a heritage. We need to pass it on to the next generation, possibly better. Not just preservation, not just conservation, improvement. We live in a place here that's been created, and we need to be proud of this heritage. So don't think of the Alps like ownership of the residents. Think of the Alps as a wonderful market potential for everybody that believes in that potential, whether resident, tourist, or foreign direct investment, or whatever. Think of this place as a platform for exchanges, not like a heritage to be preserved. Not only, of course, heritage is part of the value. That's good. I don't want an authority for controlling the usage of territory. I want a market. It makes it better. So every resident and tourist will have the chance of participating by signaling, making them aware. We need that distributed logic that comes with blockchain as opposed to a centralized logic. And it works better. And today with the technology, we can offer the possibility to everybody with a smartphone. We don't need any extra technology on the demand side. Okay? We need coverage, we need wireless access, but all you need to participate in this market is a smartphone or a portable device. So we need to ask the European Union to give us the resources to make it happen very professionally and then scale up. This requires an ecosystem of digital twin. We need to map every resource, every asset, and to transform it to the digital twin. Give it a digital API for exchange of data. That's the way we run ecosystem today. We make a digital cadastre, a catasto, okay, like Maria Teresa, of everything. This will require, of course, a standardization of protocol of exchange, which can do it. There are already protocols available. We need to select them. The smart cities, smart villages are based on protocol. Now, I share Alberto's point of view that digital lands, smart territories, smart region, smart nation. The Alpine region is a nation. It's a modern nation because many languages, many people, many different complexity. That's a new nation. Nation is not identity. Nation is openness, my friends. And that's the logic of offering the Alps as a laboratory. Not the poor guy asking for some charity. On the contrary. Okay? Let's ask for the first investment, for the first experiment. Let's be laboratory of complexity. And in that case, low density and dispersion is a good thing because try to make Milano a smart city. Good luck! Eh? So I conclude, that's my final slide. All you need is love. Not love, a little bit of love, yes. Too much love will kill you, but too much law will kill you. We don't need public money, except, Carlo, for a feasibility study, of course. We do need to create attractivity and retention of human capital, like you guys, and financial capital, of course. And you attract financial capital if you provide a stable, attractive market theory. And since, again, I come back to and conclude my two assumptions. Is there a global demand for this beautiful land? The answer is, oh yes. Is there scarcity that must be organized so that that demand is sustainable, accountable, responsible? Oh yes. And all we need is law. All we need is a settlement. All we need is a constitution. this region can teach the world on how to combine tradition, heritage, innovation, and technology. It's your turn. Thank you very much.